Hello everybody, my name is Connor and I am here with our first Edward Newgate game. As you can tell, it's my first game because my opponent, who is Don 10, another One Piece content creator, had to remind me to take my life. So he goes ahead and plays out the Shura, and our first life was the Nami Searcher, which I'm actually pretty happy about. It is, worst case scenario, another counter, but I'm thinking we use it to search. We do have a decent amount of cards in our hand, but nothing really that I feel like could play out, or nothing that can like kind of hit, you know what I mean? We do have the Rush Sanji, which is, I really like Rush Sanji. I think it's a really cool card. But we do see the Rush Luffy here, another Rush Sanji, and unfortunately we see two of our 2-cost Sanjis, and we have one in our hand. So seeing 3 of our 4 this early in the game is kind of unfortunate. So I'm torn between getting the Rush Luffy and the Sanji, and I end up going for the Sanji. I don't grab the shiny one, which I'm honestly mad about that. How could I not grab the shiny one? And I'm trying to decide. I could play another body, another like Nico. I could play like Nico Robin on board. I have 2. I run 2 currently, but I think I am going to replace them with Fire Fist come next tournament. I think that I like the way the Fire Fist can deal with more things on the board in combination with some of the Whitebeard pirate cards, which I know you guys, I just realized my hand is like all Straw Hats, so I am running Whitebeard pirate cards, I promise. You can actually, I always have the deck list either in the description below or pinned in one of the comments, so you can check that out. And my opponent is trying to figure out what they want to do here. They're at 4 Dawn, and I'm kind of nervous. It's definitely like nerve-wracking to play the deck in paper the first time. Like I played it like for a couple hours on the sim the prior night, but I really do like how this deck is playing like in person. I think it feels really good, and I kind of want to keep playing it, but I am seriously thinking about I am going to be building Boa Hancock, and I'm thinking that I might consider Boa to be more of my competitive deck. But Whitebeard, I really like Whitebeard. I especially am looking for like an RP Law counter. I know I could play RP Law, and I used to play a lot of RP Law, but now that he's so good, I don't want to. So we end up playing Megara here, and we buff Nico Robin by 3, making her a 5k power, and my opponent goes ahead and puts my dice on her. And I think here might be a bit of a misplay coming up, I think. So I have 4 Dawn, and 4 Dawn up still. I swing the 5, and they take it because Enel always wants to take their life. And I'm thinking about putting 3 Dawn on Nami and getting another 5 hit in. And my opponent gets something. I'm going to have to watch their POV and see what it was. And they were going to trigger it out, and they decided not to. And so instead of attaching 3 to Nami and swinging another 5, I end up playing out the Sanji to try and establish a bit more of a board, and then I swing 7 at life, and they take it, no trigger, and pass turn, and we get Izo, which is great because wow, that's a lot of Straw Hat Crew characters in my hand. But yeah, so I don't know if it would have been better to swing 5 with Nami and then 1 with, or 7 with Newgate. I'm feeling like that might have been better. So he swings his Shura into Robin, and I just let her go. I don't feel like she was really worth trying to protect. I could have been wrong, but who knows? So he is trying to figure out what he wants to do here, and he ends up, if I remember this turn correctly, which it happened last night, so I hope I can remember. But I think he ends up tapping 5. Yeah. So this is why I said that this is probably a bit of a misplay. So my opponent swings 6 into life. I think I go ahead and give him the Robin counter just because I don't have any cost minusing. He swings another 6 into life, and I think I give him the Ezo, or I think I guard point, which is kind of unfortunate if I do guard point, actually. Yeah, this was a really tough choice because I felt like I didn't want to give up Ezo, I didn't want to give up the Rush Sanji, but I end up taking it. I get Jozu, okay, and then he plays Kadatsu and pops the Sanji, which is kind of unfortunate. I was kind of hoping to keep Sanji around, but we end up getting Marco, and I feel like the build I have, we have like Marco, but we don't have anything to minus things to the 3000 power, and I think I was getting a little bit stuck on that. I've been watching a lot of like blue red Marco games, and so I've been, you know, just watching that. And you know, getting excited for that, and I really like the minusing power ability. But we swing the 2 into Shura, and Shura goes down. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do, what the best play is. If I want to drop the Rush Sanji, he's a pretty big body that can, you know, that has Rush, and it's like if your opponent has a 5000 power or more, Sanji gets Rush, which my opponent clearly does. I'm looking at, you know, I know for a fact after we were talking about the game, he mentioned like I needed to get 6k bodies on the field, and yeah. So we get the ISO search off, and we see 2 of our 4 aces. I think I'm running 4 aces. I know I was like looking at running 3, but I think I went with 4. And I decided to get Newgate just because I think that, you know, getting that body on board will be really nice, and getting that temporary buff. I do think I was a little too shy to play Newgate in this tournament, just because it was so much Dawn. I was worried about clearing board for obvious reasons, but we'll get there when we get there. We swing 6 into Kikanojo. I'm thinking we just clear his board. We just get Kikanojo off board, and I can rush with something else. I didn't expect him to counter out, honestly. I thought he was going to let Kikanojo go, but he does counter out. I think realizing that he needs those 6k bodies, which is unfortunate for me, and it kind of puts it kind of makes me fumble the bag here. I end up passing, and I have 6 Dawn up, so I think I should have at least played out Rush Sanji or Marco just to get another body on board so I had more swings. I think I was like scared and like holding on to their counters. We do get the Rush Ace from our life, which is it's very nice to have that Rush Ace. He does minus 3Ks, and ideally I could, you know, kind of put some pressure on minusing his board by 3k. So I used the Rush Sanji to counter out, thinking about keeping Marco. I think maybe I should have countered out with Marco. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But he swings 6 at life, and I think I counter out with Marco here. Or no, I think I guard point. Yeah, I tap 1, I play guard point, counter out. He taps 7 and swings with Enel, and I give him the 2k Jozu. I feel like maybe I should have given him the 2k Sanji instead. Jozu, I think, has a little more potential to, I mean, the rush. I mean, Jozu can rush and Sanji cannot. So that might have been a better play. And I'm trying to think if I want to drop Newgate here. If I drop Newgate here, I don't feel like it does too much for me, unfortunately. I mean, it buffs him so that maybe I can stay alive next turn. But I have 2 God Beams in my hand, and if I, you know, play Newgate, I only have one Dawn up. If I'm even at 10 Dawn, I think I forgot to get. No, I'm at 9 Dawn. So yeah, I'd have no extra Dawn up. So I end up tapping, what is that, 7? Yep, 7, and I minus the Gadatsu and the Kikanojo. Just because I'm assuming that they won't let the Enel go. So I swing 7 into 3 and get Kikunojo off board. I swing 6 into 3 with Datsu, and I'm pretty sure I get him off board. There's a chance that my opponent ends up countering out. I thought I got a better angle of the hands, but I didn't. And then I end up passing turn, 2 cards up. I do take my life here in a second, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there I go. I'm like, oh wait, did I take my life? And he's like, I don't know. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I didn't. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. My bad. Just kind of getting used to the deck, not, just having a bit of a blonde moment, nothing more. So his board is definitely, that Enel is so hard to deal with, and I feel like there's maybe a chance if we live this turn. I feel a slight chance. Assuming he doesn't kill Ace, we need to keep Ace alive. Depending on his life, what his life is, there's a chance we can get game, I think. And depending on what we top deck, of course. So I'm counting how many cards I have in my hand. It's about a buttload. 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 7. I counted. So he ends up playing Makino, taking the first life, and then he lifts up his life, and I remember he said, oh no, I think I'll keep these there. And I just want you guys to remember that, because yellow is great. He ends up swinging 7 at an ace, and I'm debating letting him go. I'm debating saving, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do, and I do end up doing, I'm pretty sure I give him the 2k. I think I overvalued the Marco. He's a shiny card, and we all know shiny cards win, so we do top deck the Magara, butchering their name every time. And I'm thinking we can't, at this point I don't feel like I can play Newgate because their board is so threatening. But I do play Newgate. I decide to go for it. It gives us 1 Dawn left. I think I'm counting. What the hell am I doing here? I think what my goal was to go for game. So I play Newgate to buff my leader, and then I swing lead into Enel, trying to decide if did I end up going for game? This is an interesting choice. I think my plan here is to try and live. Okay, so my plan is to try and live. So I play the Newgate. I play Newgate. I kill the Enel, and I go ahead and pass turn. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about that play looking back at it. I don't know if it would have been... Well, I don't know. I don't hate it. But I'm not the greatest fan of it, but I don't hate it. I do have a Rad Beam, so I can potentially get out of any large hit he does with Yamato. And he does swing 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, I think. He swings 15 at life, and I am at +2, so I'm 6, 7, 8. So I'm trying to do the math to see if I can get out of it. So I Rad Beam. Is that 15? Yeah, I'm counting here. And there we go. And I Sanji out of it. And Megara, and yeah. Okay, so I dumped my entire hand to get out of that. And I'm thinking, oh boy, I gotta get something good here. If I gotta live this turn. Call me Nico Robin, because I want to live. And yeah, I'm pretty, at this point I'm thinking, okay, depending on what I get, there's a chance, depending on what he does here, and if I can counter out, there's a chance. But he swings in, and I can 0 cost event and trash my rad beam, and we get Nami, which is honestly unfortunate. I like go to I go to draw, and I end up playing out the Nami Searcher, and I was looking for the Rush Luffy in hopes that, and we do find the Rush Luffy. I was looking for Rush Luffy in hopes that we could play him out if we needed to ideally get some damage on Enel, assuming we pop his life, Enel abilities, then I can rush out. So I'm trying to decide what I want to do. I swing 10 at him, and he plays out the ace, and I'm like, wait, is that trigger? And he's like, nope. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. And he's been on vacation for a bit, so I'm not even worried about it. I swing 8-9 into Enel just because he has such a big hand, and he gets the last life, which is the 0 cost event. So as he's doing this, he's 0 cost. He's trashing one for 0 cost event. Gets the life back for 0 cost event, and then I'm counting my Dawn, thinking like, okay, I gotta see what I can do. He trashes one, and he gets 2, and I'm like, oh fuck, even if I do play, I can't get lethal. You have too big of a hand, and then I think his last life ended up being an Amaru as well. So yeah, I just scoop, I fold. That that's just unlucky. Lucky for him, unlucky for me. I don't think it mattered too much in the end. I don't think I had set myself in a super strong position to win. But honestly, the deck felt really good to play. I do think I want to put in Fire Fist in tomorrow's game. You guys will see why I do want Fire Fist. But yeah, that's kind of where I will go ahead and end this video. I'm definitely looking forward to the feedback. I really liked playing Whitebeard. Yeah, that is gonna do it for me. So if you guys liked this video, hit that like button down below. It helps me out more than you could ever know. Go ahead and subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day.